On December 8th of 2018, a young pregnant girl had went to an alleyway to meet the father of her unborn child. By about 1 a.m., she didn't return home, and immediately her mother knew something was very wrong. This is the infuriating case of Breana Rouhselang. Hello, friend, and welcome to High Time Crime. My name's Joel, and on here I specialize in true crime and also Bigfoot sightings. We have got to find him. But anyways, today we're going over the case of Breana Rouhselang and what happened to her. You're going to learn about a twisted case of a 16-year-old who was so evil, it's actually hard to believe. For our story, we're heading to Mishawaka, Indiana. Our first time traveling to the state, and with a population of 51,000 people, Mishawaka is a city on the St. Joseph River. The city began by the discovery of bog iron deposits at the beginning of the 1830s. Within a few years, the town was pretty developed with about 200 residents. The Mishawaka post office that's still running today has been in operation since 1833. But the area is filled with old-fashioned neighborhoods, and even many of the newer homes have been built to have that hometown neighborhood feel to encourage community spirit. If you ever happen to end up here somehow, well, you could do a bunch of things. First, you could visit the Mishawaka River Walk, which is a relaxing place to walk, jog, or ride your bike. You could go to the University Park Mall in case you need some new clothes, or you want to stop by maybe a candle store. If you need some antioxidants, you could take a trip on down to the Blueberry Ranch and eat a bunch of blueberries. Tasty. But unfortunately, none of these options are the reason as to why we're in Mishawaka today. Breana Mackenzie Rouhselang was born on November 5th of 2001 to Melissa Wallace and Dave Rouhselang. Her parents were separated, and so she'd have to go back and forth between houses. Brianna had 2 brothers and was also an aunt. She was a great friend who was very kind and compassionate and would do anything for you. From the time that Brianna could walk, she had already decided to dedicate her life to athletics, and she was good at it. By the age of 5, she was playing softball, and this continued through her high school years. Brianna was 17 years old and a junior at Mishawaka High School. Here, she played softball and was also a cheerleader, and she was the football team manager, which is how she became closer to someone we'll talk about in a little bit. Brianna loved spending time with her family and friends, and her dog Duffy also. Her favorite holiday was Christmas, as she loved engaging in community festivities, and she was so excited for it because it was right around the corner, only 17 days away. She would love to decorate the tree and house with her mom, and they'd watch all the Christmas movies together. Brianna never wanted to miss any family gatherings because she wanted to play games with her nieces and nephews. She adored them. One of her favorite things to do was hang out with her grandmother Christine and go to church with her or just be with her. Brianna had huge dreams of attending college after graduating to study athletic training. Overall, she was a hardworking girl who had her entire life ahead of her. One thing about Brianna, though, is that she was keeping a pretty large secret. This was that she was pregnant. In December of 2018, Brianna was about 6 months pregnant with a baby girl who she was going to name Aurora Mackenzie Rouhselang. The father of this child, his name is Aaron Trejo. Aaron Romeo Trejo was born on November 2nd of 2002. According to his family, he was a typical kid who loved playing sports and video games, specifically football, and this started when he was a small child. Aaron was a part of a loving family, a big family, and they all attended church and are God-fearing people. His brother Adam said that Aaron was the most loving, most caring, most persistent, and most consistent person he knew. Obviously, this wasn't the person who he was. If anything, it was the complete opposite. Aaron went to the same high school as Brianna, and it was here that he played on the football team. Brianna was the football team manager, and one thing led to another. They knew about each other since middle school, but it wasn't until high school that they kind of became a thing. As to whether or not they were in a committed relationship, it doesn't appear so. Brianna's family didn't know about Aaron, and Aaron's family didn't know about Brianna, for the most part. Brianna's mom knew about something, and this particular something was what Brianna was keeping a secret from most of the world. That was that Brianna was 6 months pregnant with a baby girl. By this point, it was too late to terminate the pregnancy, and Brianna didn't want to do that anyway. She already named her child Aurora, and she was going to go through with it. Aaron didn't know about the pregnancy until it was too late, so he began looking for a way out. And unfortunately, he felt like he had only one option: murder. In the few months leading to what happened, Brianna's grades had started to slip, but she still seemed like the happy, sweet girl she had always been. She was getting ready to be a mother within the next 3 months or so, and was really excited. For a week prior to that awful day in December of 2018, Aaron Trejo was thinking about how he was going to kill Brianna. When he finally decided on how, then he decided on when. December 8th of 2018, at about 10:30 p.m., Aaron left his house equipped with a knife and a trash bag. He texted Brianna saying that he needed to talk to her behind her house in an alleyway. Brianna told her mom, Melissa, that she was going to go meet up with him to talk about the pregnancy. When the two of them met up, Aaron sneakily attacked her and then proceeded to take her life in a very vicious manner. A few hours passed, and at about 1 a.m., Melissa woke up and immediately felt something was very wrong. Brianna wasn't home, and so Melissa began looking for her. She drove to Aaron's home, which was only a few blocks away, but he told her that he hadn't seen her because Brianna never showed up and didn't answer when he texted her. After searching for several more hours and calling a bunch of Brianna's friends, Melissa then called the police at around 4 a.m. on December 9th. Aaron was immediately questioned by the police, but stuck to his story of not seeing Brianna. This was obviously a lie, and the police discovered what happened right away. At the scene of the crime, investigators discovered Brianna's glasses and a bloody hat. More blood was found nearby, and this led them directly to Brianna's body. Aaron put her in a dumpster behind a restaurant only a block away from her home. Brianna was found with multiple stab wounds, a scarf tied around her neck, and a trash bag was placed over her head and torso. Investigators then took another trip to Aaron's house, and this time they took him in for questioning. He told them that he had reached out to Brianna for the first time in months to see how she was doing with the pregnancy. Aaron then said that he and Brianna scheduled a time to meet up in the alleyway behind her house, but she never showed up. After waiting for a few minutes, Aaron then supposedly sent her a text message to which she didn't reply. Then he just went home. The detectives obviously weren't buying this. They already had physical evidence linking Aaron to the crime. It was over for him. It was finally time for him to come clean about what happened. Aaron told the police that him and Brianna argued about the pregnancy. He said that Brianna waited too long to tell him about it, and by the time he found out, it was too late for her to end it. Aaron then confessed to murdering Brianna and said, "I took action. I took her life," and also that he had been thinking about doing this for a week. He said that when he met up with Brianna in the alleyway, they didn't talk for long before he stabbed her with a knife that he had brought from home. Aaron said that he chose to use a knife because he thought that she would die faster. When Brianna fell to the ground, Aaron put a trash bag over her and then put her body in a dumpster nearby. Afterwards, he walked to a river and then threw her cell phone and the knife as far out as he could. Aaron was then arrested and charged as an adult with 1 count of murder and 1 count of feticide due to Brianna being pregnant. A little over a year later, and on January 7th of 2020, Aaron Trejo was sentenced to 65 consecutive years in prison, 55 years for the murder of Brianna, and 10 additional years for the feticide. Before his sentencing was read aloud, he said these final words to the judge: "There is no excuse for what I've done. Sorry won't be enough, but that's all I can give you right now. that's it. Aaron also had a psychologist named Anthony Berardi talk to him, and Anthony said that Aaron felt trapped by his parents who did not want to put the child up for adoption. Anthony said that Aaron had a lot of repressed hostility and a lot of repressed anger. Absolutely pitiful. What Aaron Trejo took from Brianna's family will never actually care about or know. Brianna's mother, Melissa, came out after Aaron was sentenced and said that this was all a nightmare. That life goes on, but for her, it's put on hold until she sees Brianna in heaven. Melissa said that she was glad Aaron was spending most of his life behind bars, but that no amount of time will ever replace what he took from her. Melissa spends a lot of her time at Brianna's gravesite, and she can't stay away from her. She said that it doesn't get easier, it's just as hard as the first day I lost her, and that I can't believe that somebody would do that. She was the kindest girl. She wouldn't have hurt anyone, ever. I'll never get to hear her voice, hug her, watch her grow, go to college. He took all of that away. Melissa ended her statement by saying this: he's still able to talk to his family. He's still able to hear their voice. He still gets to wake up every day. He took that all away from me. Brianna's father, Dave, and stepmother, Nicole, had no idea that Brianna was pregnant. They talked very highly of her, saying that she was the nicest, sweetest, most innocent girl you'd ever meet. One of Brianna's friends, Haley, said this about her: she was like the sun, and she just projected onto everyone. And her rays, they were so bright. I mean, it's a darker place without her. Brianna was very loved by basically everyone that knew her, and she's missed dearly. Not a day goes by that her family doesn't think about her. What happened to her was a tragedy. A few days after this happened, a candlelight vigil was held in honor of Brianna, and her family said some things that are definitely worth hearing.
This candlelight vigil is being held because Baker Park was a place of togetherness, peace, and happiness for Bree. She loved softball. She loved basketball, cheerleading, but she mostly loved those sports because of what they were all about. It meant time to be with her friends, a chance to challenge yourself, an opportunity to laugh or cry, a chance to work with her teammates to achieve a common goal.
We didn't know her, but I want you to know that our hearts are with you and our prayers are with you. There's so many people here that have never been to one of these, but this touched us.
I'm here to talk about Brianna. She was the flower girl at my wedding. She was amazing. She was my chuckle butt. She was very easy to talk to. She was always smiled, always was very polite, always just big eyes. And it's a horrible thing that happened. There's no words that I can say that make it easy or better.
This is the type of thing that could rip a community, a school, a family apart. And all it's done is brought us closer together.
I just wanted to say that she was a sweetheart. All y'all know that. Had a beautiful smile, a great spirit, and will never be forgotten, and she'll always be in our hearts forever.
Aaron Trejo is a coward, to say the least, but his family doesn't think so. His aunt said that this is not him. This is not in his character. She also said that he got a bad concussion during that football season, so that could have potentially messed with his mind. She also believes that he's not a monster, but in reality, that's exactly what he is. Aaron Trejo deserved life in prison. He got a harsh punishment, but not harsh enough, especially considering what he did. Hopefully, jail will rot him away. Breana Rouhselang was a very sweet, bright, and innocent young woman. She had her entire life ahead of her and was very excited to bring a daughter into this world. Unfortunately, Brianna's life was robbed by a low-life coward. She's remembered and missed greatly by everyone who knew her, and there's nothing but good things to say about her. It's awful knowing that Brianna had went out to the alley with intentions of just talking to Aaron about the pregnancy. She had zero idea of what he was truly capable of or what his true intentions were. I don't think anyone did. I really hope that Brianna and what would have been her daughter, Aurora, are resting peacefully and that her family can one day be able to find some closure. Rest in peace, Brianna and Aurora. But anyways, thank you for watching this episode of High Time Crime. If true crime is your thing, then please subscribe and hit the like button because that's all we do. I also have a second account with my brother named Horrifying where we tell stories about everything paranormal. This includes true crime, mysteries, and things that are just downright spooky. I'd greatly appreciate if you subscribe to that too. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, friend.